Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of From the Hips. It's just me today, my partner in crime is gone, so you're just going to have to deal with me. Get over it. As we all know, last week I was on military orders, so I'm back now. I did my training successfully. Hoorah! And I want everyone to know that it is now official. Gay people can be out in the open and in the military. There was a lot of news on it in the media. A lot of people were coming out of the closet. And and there's one guy who came out of the closet, told his dad, "Hey, I'm gay," and his dad was like, "Yeah, I know." So well, what's new? I mean, you're not fooling anyone. I mean, all right, we all get it. But I just want people to understand, the sky hasn't fallen yet. Okay, obviously we haven't been invaded, we weren't attacked. The military is still deploying. Obviously, I know plenty of people that are leaving Afghanistan here shortly. And everything seemed to be okay. I was on orders when this happened, and then I woke up and I put my camis on, and there was still electricity in the barracks. And I was like, wow, this is exciting. I was really scared. I went to the chow hall. Food was still being served, and it was amazing. Nobody was getting dragged, by rope in a car. Nobody was hanging. There was no violent mobs. There was no protest. Everybody just kind of put on their camis like normal, followed the codes and laws by the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and they went about their day and they did their mission, regardless of what it was. They did their mission. Guys weren't making out in the bathroom. Chicks weren't getting it on behind a desk or under the chow hall table. Everything seemed to work fine. So I want to say to all the people that, bashed on me throughout the past years, "Oh, screw you, you're a traitor, you don't know anything, how dare you wear the uniform," that it worked. Everything is okay. Don't worry, we can still go and give up our lives for oil and for contractors and for all types of money. And don't worry, we'll still go do that whether we're gay or straight. And everything's working out fine, so you can just sit back and watch NASCAR and keep hating the gays and the blacks and the Jews or whatever you decide to hate. You can still keep doing it because the world is going to keep spinning. So, and trust me, because I had to give a lesson, because anytime a new policy happens in the military, you have to instruct it. So, listen, we're not here to debate the merits. We're soldiers. We're wearing the uniform. We follow orders. If that's one day, we're holding a rifle and we're trying to kill the enemy, or if that's the next day, we're holding a rifle and we're trying to win the hearts and minds of the enemy. Doesn't make much sense, but we're going to do it because that's what we're told to do. Okay? Gays are now in the military, out in the open, and everything's fine. So just calm down. Calm down. Alright. What else has been going on? Now, we have this whole Occupy Wall Street thing, which is great. You don't hear much about it in the media because it's all, against, Wall Street. And Wall Street owns the media, so hence lies the problem why you don't hear about it. But there is riots. I mean, literally, people are getting arrested for peaceful protesting. There is tons and tons of stuff going on. Lots of people protesting on Wall Street. And what I find is great is you had Bill O'Reilly, who was doing an interview, and he was like, "Oh well, these people they're all just urban terrorists. They're just all liberals. They don't know anything. And he made a comment. He said the people that are unemployed and poor choose to be. Okay, so I'm thinking teachers don't get paid squat. That's kind of common knowledge, hey, I used to date a woman that was going to college and to ASU to become a teacher. I was like, when I was dating her, I was like, well, I better start making all the money because she's going to be poor, They do it for a love of teaching. Or firefighters, police officers, they don't make much money. And I can semi-relate because when I put on the uniform, I'm an IT engineer, okay? Alright? When I put on the uniform, I'm a sergeant, okay? There's a huge gap in pay. So last week, I made half of what I would have normally made, okay, my day job, by going over and actually doing my service for my country. But is it about the money? No. Do I take a huge hit in pay? Yes. Is it a big sacrifice because then I have to budget properly to pay my mortgage? Yes. So why do I do it? Because I love what I do and I have a passion for serving. And for me, it's the military. Other people, it's, they want to help people, So teachers don't make squat, okay? They get unemployed because, a governor, decides, I'd rather give more money to building prisons or I'd rather give more money to, oil tax subsidies or anything like that. And I want to create a madness because my goal, and I've already said it, is to destroy the Obama presidency. So, how is that teacher choosing to be poor? Okay? How is it a choice? All right? If they're getting laid off by this, this whole thing that, I got mine, to hell with you. And that really is the Republican platform. Because you listen to all the people on the dais, Herman Cain's even said it several times, if you're not rich, successful, that's your own damn fault. To a certain degree, yeah, but you know what? The American dream wasn't to be a millionaire and to get rich and die trying. The American dream was 2 cars in the garage and a chicken in the pot, all right? That was the American dream that was established, and that was for a living wage. The fact that, there are some people that don't have ambitions to be, entrepreneurs. I don't, like me personally, I'm happy if I'm making somewhere between 60 and 80. That's kind of my happy zone, all right? I don't want to be a workaholic that's always away from home and always traveling, doing IT security work and everything, where I'm making $300,000 a year. I don't have a desire for that, okay? So everybody has their little happy zone. You're right. The world needs ditch diggers. The world needs bus drivers. My dad is happened to be one of those people. He has chosen to live lower class, but he's happy with it, okay? He drives a school bus. It is a necessity. It is a need. It is a social service. He doesn't get paid much money, and he's okay with that, and he's very happy and humble. However, it disturbs me to know that my dad had to yank out his own teeth because he couldn't afford to go to the dentist. All right? He's a part of society, all right? And even though it's not income taxes he's paying because he's under that threshold, he's still paying sales taxes, property taxes, he's still contributing to society and also doing a function, okay? So we are making money off him, and he is also providing a service. But it does disturb me, so it's like, all right, he's choosing to be poor, that's true, but he didn't choose to be destitute, okay? What type of life is that, to be a wage slave? I'm working 3 jobs and I'm ignoring my children because I can't parent anymore. Because that's really all we have now, is we have the super rich and we have the people that are wage slaves. Because we're so either in debt because our houses are underwater, or because of student loans, or that there's just no jobs and we've racked credit cards to try to feed ourselves. We have wage slaves. And is that the living wage? Is that the American dream? All right, to hell with getting rich. I don't care about that. I just want to be able to afford to have a family and to take care of them and to not have to do my own dental work like my dad did. So, but again, moving on, a lot of good things are coming down on Wall Street because people are finally waking up and starting to use their First Amendment right, and that's the the right to collectively organize, and free speech, all that good trash. That the Tea Parties who claim to be constitutionalists should be right there with them, all right? And one more thing, Hank Williams Jr., what a douche. What a douche, okay? And he's been known in his shows to actually stop and just do a big old rant on how much he hates Obama. So he said John Boehner and President Obama playing golf together was the worst thing that John Boehner ever could do, because that would be like Hitler playing golf with Netanyahu, okay? But people, Mr. Boehner, you're all elected officials, okay, that is supposed to get things accomplished, right? That's compromise. And they say, if everybody's unhappy, then that means it's been a good agreement. Because there was compromise. That's your job. Your job isn't I'm going to go to Washington, hate Obama, and make sure my state doesn't get piddly squat. No. Your job is to go to Washington, try to get as much money as possible for your constituents. Not the one oil guru, all the people that elected you. Okay, that is your job. And if it requires compromise, so be it. Because you know what? In the military, if you end up having to work for an asshole, or under one, or above one, I don't care. I've often said these terms. I don't care, corporal, specialist, whatever, what the situation is. You will go and you will do your job and you will get it done. Hoorah. And it's about time that Wall Street and Republicans and Congress and everybody in Washington does their effing job and that was to get crap passed and to get jobs created. Again, they're just so concerned about destroying Obama's, his presidency, that they have a scorched earth policy and they don't give a damn what happens to you. Okay, and that is just that's it. That is exactly how it is. What are you going to do about it? They can say, "Oh, it's all your fault that you're poor." Yeah, you're right, but again, is it our fault that we have to yank out our own teeth? Is it our fault that we can't afford to go to the doctors? Is it our fault that if there's not a profit margin, there's no incentive? Is that really our fault? Or is it our fault that we're going to go get sent to Afghanistan to fight a war that they just took a poll? All the military is agreeing it wasn't worth it, it is pointless, and it is stupid, but we're still going over there. We're still over there, so what are we doing? Anyways, that's going to be it for today. So I just, I kept the arguing and yelling down to a low because I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed last week. So, but don't worry, I'll be good next week, and I will rant and be just as foul-mouthed as every other episode. So until next time, Sergeant Lamb, hoorah.